Rome. Once the center of the world, the city of legends and emperors, the embodiment of power and splendor, its borders stretching from the Atlantic Ocean to the Euphrates River. But like every great empire, Rome one day collapsed. But this collapse did not happen overnight. Rome did not fall overnight. Its fall was a slow and painful process. And why? Let's look for the answer to this question together. The fall of Rome is like a jigsaw puzzle. When we put each piece in place, a big picture emerges. It shows civil war, greed, and barbarian invasions. But first, let us remember why this great empire was so powerful. Rome was not just an army or a city. It was a system. It was a gigantic edifice of law, engineering, art, and culture. It dominated the world with thousands of kilometers of roads, cleverly designed aqueducts, and an all-encompassing trade network. But no system is perfect, is it? Rome had cracks in it too, and these cracks grew over time. Perhaps Rome's greatest enemy came not from outside, but from within. While the empire was expanding, it was also being shaken by the struggle for the throne. Generals were fighting each other to become emperor, turning their armies against each other. For example, the civil war that began with the assassination of Julius Caesar opened a wound in the heart of Rome. Such struggles for the throne exhausted the people and weakened the unity of the empire. But it didn't end there. Civil wars were not just for the throne. Rome was increasingly captured by regional interests. Local rulers began to act independently of the empire. The empire was no longer whole. It was falling apart. Rome was built on wealth. But this wealth turned into a curse. Those at the top of power thought only of their own interests. Taxes were raised, the people became poorer. The economy built on slave labor began to collapse. This greed not only created an economic crisis, but also broke the bond between the people and the government. Even the soldiers were no longer selling their loyalty to the emperor, but to the generals who paid them. Imagine, how can an empire survive if even its army is not loyal to it? This economic and social collapse played a major role in the fall of Rome. The powerful armies that guarded Rome's borders were once invincible. But over time, this army was weakened by civil wars and economic crises. The barbarians, the tribes outside Rome, recognized this weakness. The Visigoths, the Vandals, the Huns, they all showed up on Rome's doorstep. In 410, when the Visigoths sacked Rome, the world was shocked. The legendary city suffered one of the biggest blows in its history. But even this didn't completely destroy Rome. Because Rome was more than just a city. The empire would live on in the east as Byzantium. But in the west, Rome was further weakened by the invasion of the barbarians. In 476, the last Western Roman emperor, Romulus Augustulus, was deposed. That was the end of the Western Roman Empire. But the fall of Rome did not happen in a day. It was a process that took centuries. Civil wars, greed, and barbarian invasions all came together to bring down this colossal edifice. But Rome's legacy lives on. With its law, art, engineering, and culture, you can still see traces of Rome today. Perhaps Rome's greatest achievement is that even though it was physically destroyed, its ideas and heritage never disappeared. Because Rome was a city, but it was also an idea. And ideas never die in a day. That is why the Roman Empire did not fall in a day. Its collapse was a story of time and human nature. We have much to learn from this story by looking at each other and at history. The fall of Rome is also our story,